How long do these stages, like usually stage 1, stage 2, stabilization, stage 3, hitting their PR goals? Like, what does this process look like going from stage 1 all the way to stage 3 where this person's hitting their goals?
Like everybody's different and unique. Sometimes it's like we're out of pain very fast. It's like 2, 3 sessions. And then we get to the rebuild phase right away. And then we spend a lot of time in the strength training phase, which is ideal. Other cases are a little more severe, more chronic. Maybe it takes 8 to 10 sessions to get out of pain. Then we start the rehab stages, rebuilds phase, and then we get to the strength training for the last couple. And then those people might even do a second plan of care with us.
Welcome, everyone, to a new episode of the Expect Miracles podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Kevin Pecca. Today's episode is sponsored by uccnearme.com. Find an upper cervical chiropractor near you on uccnearme.com. Today, we have one of my favorite guests in the world, one of my best friends in the world, who's also a phenomenal, if not one of the best in the country, rehab sports chiros. He's helping so many people. Just moved into a new spacious location, RSM Sports Medicine, Chiropractic and Rehab in Red Bank, New Jersey. And we got him on the show today. So excited to have him. Please welcome Dr. Jeremy Dinkin.
What an intro.
You like that?
Thanks for having me. Seriously, I'm honored to be here, and I'm excited to chat with you, man.
Dude, so kid number 3 is here, West, new clinic location. What's the latest, man? How are you doing over there?
Yeah, so obviously a lot of big things happening at once, but I'm used to it. Typically this is Jeremy fashion, so a lot of things happening at once, but nothing that I can't handle.
Like you get onto this base situations. Like
Yeah,
how does you this in your like?
it's almost like it's part of the deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, so getting into the clinic for the past 6, 7, 8 months was the priority. Doing the build out was not easy and is expected a lot longer and more expensive than everybody thinks. Which put us in a weird situation with the place that I was already renting from, because I kept delaying the time frame, and they were nice enough to let me stay up until the end, but definitely wasn't an ideal situation in terms of where we were and how we can run the business. We were limited to 1 treatment room for only 1 doctor, as opposed to 2 with 2 doctors. So we were split in the room, waiting on playing the waiting game, paying people to do the build out. It was just a lot happening at once, all while my wife's pregnant and delivered June 1st, about 2 weeks after we moved into the space. So it was just a lot of things happening at once, but I don't think we made it through. Yeah, always. Dude, a lot of things happening at once.
Dude, and what I love most about what you do, it's very specialized, kind of like the upper cervical work I do. Let's be honest, I think a lot of the rehabilitation that people do is kind of shit these days, right? Like, how often do you say, and my practice too, like, oh, I've done physical therapy, it doesn't work. Most people are just getting the generic, like, back extension exercises with the bands, and your work you do is so specific and tailored to what people need, and you get people back to doing what they love, which is huge. And so many people are told that they're broken, and if they start something, a lot of doctors say, don't do anything, you're not ready for this. And you tell these people the opposite. You're not broken. You're ready for this. Let's get you back doing what you love.
Yeah. So I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's why when I started my practice right out of school, the reason was because there was nobody doing what we're doing now. So I just couldn't get.
Still isn't enough people doing what you do.
Right. And I just couldn't get on board with like the old traditional model of like, just basic cookie cutter exercises. Everybody gets the same thing every day. And it's, coming from a football background and being, heavily involved in powerlifting and all that. I just knew that for people that like myself, who were obsessed with the gym and wanted to push maximum performance, there was just not enough. What they were getting was not nearly enough, and not enough attention to detail, not enough time per session with each patient. getting to know their body, getting to know their goals, and then having them go through a specific progression of exercises to actually get to that goal. There's no offices doing it. So I'm like, why not me?
Yeah.
Why can't I do this? And why can't I help change the game and give people the actual product that they're looking for?
So, Jeremy, what is it exactly that you do, and what type of patients come and see you because they're not getting the help that they do need?
That's a great question. So most clients and actually prefer when they've tried PT other places or they've tried other things, just so that they do know the difference and they can see it for themselves. And it helps them, understand how it is different here. So we start with the assessment process is ultimately going to guide everything. So we take them through an extensive assessment process to see where they're at right now, hopefully help them connect the dots and make it very clear as to what the real problem is. So we have that on a nice whiteboard. We get to show the patient exactly what we're seeing, what their body's telling us, and that allows us to A, tell them what's going on, and B, show them what we plan to do with that. And that we actually have like a specific implementation based on whatever their assessment is to actually reverse engineer the process and then show them our 3-step process where we tie it all together and say, here's phase 1, let's eliminate pain by finding out what the real problem is. Then phase 2 is the rebuild phase where we balance out all those asymmetries, improve range of motion, stabilize the joints. And then from there, we have a solid foundation to then build strength from to cement the results. So then from there, we go into the strength training phase, which is, of course, my most exciting phase. And we get to load the person up, and that's where the confidence comes back. They overcome that, the existing injury, and now they're like actually pushing their limits. And so to bring them from like where they're at right now in pain all the way to like PRing a workout and doing the most they've ever done. That's why it's so fulfilling and so
How
exciting.
long do these stages, like usually stage 1, stage 2, stabilization, stage 3, hitting their PR goals, like what is this process look like? And how long does it usually, I know every case is different, but what does it look like going from stage 1 all the way to stage 3 where this person's hitting their goals?
That's again an awesome question, and you said it right. Like everybody's different and unique. Sometimes it's like we're out of pain very fast. It's like 2-3 sessions, and then we get to the rebuild phase right away, and then we spend a lot of time in the strength training phase, which is ideal. Other cases are a little more severe, more chronic. Maybe it takes 8 to 10 sessions to get out of pain. Then we start the rehab stage, rebuilds phase, and then we get to the strength training for the last couple. And then those people might even do a second plan of care with us. Some people, we offer 12, 16, or 20. I'll give my clinical recommendation after the eval as to what I think that person's going to need. But as long as we're on the same page, we decide on that plan together. And then if we need another one, we both decide on that together. Everything's shared decision making. I'll give my recommendation, but ultimately, their investment and their health.
Yeah.
I'll let them do the decision making with myself. But as long as we're on the same page and I can show them strategically how the progressions look like and what the end goal looks like very clearly, then we're all going to be happy.
How often are people given the wrong exercises?
Oh, I love that question so much. It's a beautiful question. I would say if I had to give like a honest answer, in traditional healthcare, probably 90% of the time.
All right.
Some of those exercises, and without, that's what they're taught in school, and then they go to a clinic and then they're taught that same stuff. It's not really the clinician's fault. But if you don't go above and beyond and try to understand more biomechanics, more how the body works, doing it yourself, like strength training for 20 years, you don't really understand that like some of those, even if they're lower level, can be making the problem worse. Specifically with like shoulder exercises, right? I see the classic traditional exercises all the time. And a lot of the times it's furthering the problem and furthering the compensation pattern. So they do these exercises, which are most of the time unassisted and no one's watching them do that. It's like you're going to go with the PTA if you're lucky, do these exercises for 20 minutes, then come back, then get your stin, and then come back, get your tape, and then see you later. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So there's no guidance. There's no like coaching through it. It's like, here's the protocol for shoulder pain. Here's the protocol for back pain. Do these exercises. And like, what I tell people in the assessment process is, have you ever seen this whiteboard before, like broken down like this? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they're doing barely anything, if any, assessment. And then they're giving everybody the same exercises. Like how beneficial and how productive is that when everybody's different, as you know. There's a lot of body types, different body goals, compositions,
Yeah.
fitness backgrounds. Like everybody's very unique.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense to me, and that's why I don't do it. Because it's very cookie cutter, and honestly, most people that come in here tell me I was wasting my time.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting about what you guys do is you guys assess everything down to the foundational level. Like, so even you'll get like a bodybuilder in your clinic and it's like, do a simple hip hinge for me, or like show me in slow motion how you'll do just like a little like a deadlift without any weights. And big, strong, muscular guy, they're doing the mechanics wrong. And I think it's breaking down their body eventually.
100%. It's a lot of the stuff we do is table tests, but we also do like the video analysis, just to see exactly what you're saying, how they're moving without weights. Because some people move better, especially the stronger people. Sometimes they could be moving better with the weights on their back. So and you put them in a body weight position and they look like a flamingo.
Wow.
It's yeah, it's interesting to see how they're managing gravity, and that's a big thing we talk about with patients. Where's your center of gravity? You know, why are you losing this range of motion? It's most likely due to that center of gravity issue. And so a lot of the pictures and the videos we take in here are super beneficial, and it doesn't have to be, too in depth for the patient to understand. You're like, look, here's this picture or here's this video. You see what I'm seeing. You're seeing the shift to the left, or you're seeing your posture is way too far forward. Look at your feet. Your feet are grabbing. We'll show them all the things that we're seeing, so it hopefully connects the dots, and then they can go home and take something away from that. And I think again, the education piece that we sell people here is like
Yeah.
second to
And
none.
that's what I love about what you do too is it starts in your treatment room, but they're given exercises for them that they can do on their own to get better as well.
Exactly. So that when they leave here, it's not just like we're meeting once a week, because there's too many factors, as you know, with pain and the pain experience. It's just too much to handle. So if they're just coming in once a week for an hour and then just doing that, I personally don't think it's enough. So we're on them about the homework. I honestly, just to say, do them every day because it's not going to interfere with your training, at least in the beginning stages. So do this as much as you can, and that in hopes of them doing it 3 to 5 times a week is fair.
And do you also get people that aren't ready to do a lot of the exercises like right from the get-go? Like you probably have a lot of people that can't even bend down because they're in so much pain at first. How do you walk them through how do you walk through a really inflamed patient that can't do too much and then get them back to where they need to be?
Awesome question. So typically for those people, it's all positional in the beginning. Let's just find a position that is relieving, we can breathe in that position. We can create a little bit of space. And typically for those acute patients, it's a lot more manual therapy. So we'll spend more of that 1 hour session probably doing the muscle work and the tissue work just to calm everything down. A little bit more passive, and then finding those positions they could breathe in, that can hopefully create a little bit more space so that they're not so tight and compressed while they're going through that flare up.
Beautiful. So Jeremy, you said you had some questions for me here. What do you got?
So I think you do an unbelievable job on social media, marketing and promoting, what you do.
Thank you.
So I guess my question is, how do you structure, showing people how you're different versus like the regular chiropractor? From my lens, I think it's super interesting to see how you.
Yeah, well, kind of like what you said, I love when people have tried regular chiropractic and other types of modalities and treatments because right when they get here, they can tell that this is a different place of healing and everything. And, I think it starts with the intake. Like, we're not just taking you to the back room and rushing you around and saying this is what we're going to do to help you. We haven't even taken a look at you yet. We take a very detailed, thorough analysis of where people have been and their goals and what they want to have happen with care. And then obviously what we do is a lot different. We take the 3-dimensional x-rays, which a lot of people have never seen before. And it like actually puts their neck in a 3-dimensional image where you can visualize the misalignments and everything going on. And we don't do any twisting or cracking of the neck. Everything's very light and gentle. And what I love most is the adjustments are designed to stay in place, meaning we don't want to have to give you a neck adjustment every time you're in the office. We want to put it back, stabilize it, leave alone so your body can heal. And what I love most about what you do is I worked with your mentor pretty closely because his office was about 25 minutes away. Strive to Move was about
Mhm.
25 minutes away. So once I got that upper cervical spine stable, I would send them all because people were like, I want to get back to working out. And, can I start doing this? And I say, well, I know a really great place where you can, accomplish all those goals. So once we got things stabilized up here, the body needs movement. Like sitting down, most people are sitting down all day, not doing anything. And they're scared to, start up again and they want to. And as soon as I can get this stable and, bring them to a therapist that can help them move, like I'm all in. So what you do and what I do, it works really, really well together. Down in Florida, I haven't found somebody that does what you do yet. Maybe you'll know somebody I could talk to you after this,
Yeah.
but it was such a perfect marriage with the upper cervical and the movement and the rehab because people, they're looking for that and they can't really find it. And, with what I do and what you do, there's not many people doing it. So you probably have people that come from far away and you have all these people come from far away and it's so rewarding to see them get better and get their life back because I think that's both why we do it.
Yeah. I mean, I know you definitely get people from far away.
Yeah.
Just for me personally, like getting somebody from Buffalo would be
Yeah.
really cool. And Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, like they're passing a lot of offices on the way here.
Yeah.
So I don't take it lightly. I don't take it for granted. And I think that those those situations really push me clinically to continue to be the best. And it's really motivating
Yeah.
to, I they're spending all this money with me. They're traveling. It's like we better have this option out.
Yeah, man. I got somebody in my office from Australia this week, and like, it's cool to have people travel, but you also have to deliver the goods, and like,
Yeah.
you got to be ready. And I'm ready for it. I know you're ready for it. It's very rewarding, and I think going back to the social media, just like putting it out there with confidence and showing people that you're getting these results, it goes a long way. And
Mhm.
people, you never know who's watching these videos, who you're going to reach. And like sometimes I'll tell people like, listen, there's somebody in your state that can do this, but they come see me because they're like, I know you've been through this, I know you've helped a lot of people, like I'm coming to see you. And I love that. That's I'm
Yeah.
all game for it. If you want to travel from far away, it's like my one of my favorite things to do is treat people from out of state because it's
What a
why you do it.
crazy world.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You're able to do that. I'm sure like, 20 years ago it wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
And I think that, if you're not doing social media and you're in our field, you're definitely behind. Because yeah, even virtual treatments I've been able to do for
Yeah, that's what's
years.
really cool about what you do too. You can see people virtually.
Right. Yes. And COVID, I have to thank COVID a little bit. It forced me to think on my feet and kind of forced me to do that. And it honestly made me a better clinician because I was able to do my assessment process now through a screen.
Mhm.
So it made me be very specific. I knew what I was looking for. It honestly, the skills that I built through the screen have helped me
Yeah.
tremendously. And now I don't really have as many virtual because I like the in person better.
Yeah.
But it helped my in person skill tremendously.
Yeah. And the thing about what we do is we get better every year and you get your hands on more different body types. And so like just seeing your transformation of you just starting out to where you are now, this beautiful office in Red Bank, like, you know, that was that wasn't, you didn't start there. It was a huge growing process and it's just a testament to the work you're doing and how you're helping people.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's definitely not been easy, but just, COVID was another crazy event, but like I honestly most people would have just folded and
Yeah.
said, it's worth it. But that was when I actually quit my part-time job and went
Yeah.
full-time on RSM, which was amazing because I had more time to work on the business. I had more time to do more courses. I had more time to treat patients. And so during that time frame, our business took
Oh
off.
yeah.
I think that was definitely a turning point. I was probably 2 years in at that point. And when I left my part-time job after about a year and a half, everything started to,
Yeah.
take off. Also,
And I think where some people make a mistake is like, you always have coaches and mentors growing up as a kid if you're an athlete. And like when you're adult, you kind of just stop looking for outside guidance and try to do it all yourself. And like I know I've hired a business coach to help me. You have a great mentor and coach in Justin. And even just like speaking what's going on out loud and like to another person, like my wife Pre, like I'll tell her everything that's going on in the office, and just like bouncing ideas off her is like one of like the best coaches I've had. Just saying what you're thinking out loud and having somebody analyze it. Like I'm sure Brooke is the same way. Like it's just it's you need help. And I think one of the things I was doing early on is I tried to do it all myself. And
Mhm.
just having the right people around you is going to help you grow and become a better clinician.
Yeah, I think, similar to myself, actually, I was so scared of failing that I got a coach pretty fast, but I think where I can see a mistake in other people is, and sometimes even in myself, is not being able to shed the ego and like you said, learning from anybody that you can. Thankfully, I am pretty self aware about the ego thing, but I can see colleagues and stuff. They're just like, this is my way. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to be open minded, which usually is just a reflection of the ego.
Yeah, dude.
But letting go of that, and then even like I have a bunch of colleagues and friends that are younger than me
Mhm.
that I talk to all the time, take advice from, learn from. So again, it doesn't matter, where the background is, what age it is. I'm always trying to learn. If I can get ahead a little bit and learn something new, I'm in.
Yeah, and I think too, like a lot of people, like you just said, you have a lot of younger people watching you, and it's so great to have somebody that sees pave the way and to follow them, but also making what you do or what I do and making it your own. Like you gotta put pieces together and kind of make it your own. A lot of people just try to copy this with even like social media. They just try to do the same thing you're doing, and like all people like, how come I'm not going viral? Or it's like because it's already been done. You got to like
Exactly.
make things your own and grow from there. Put your spin on it because that's what people want to see.
Exactly. I used to get very upset. I've gotten better in the last year, but if people, word for word rip off a post of mine, it would eat me alive just because it's my words, my thought process.
Yeah,
But, as you get deeper and deeper, exactly what you said, like you're unique in your own way, and like that's gonna show through the content. So if it's not genuine or authentic, then you're really probably never gonna get to where you want to go.
of course.
But doing the authentic stuff and like doing the silly stuff and just being real, raw, and like just putting yourself out there. I know your social media has been amazing. Mine grew also in the last
Yeah, you're
few
getting
years.
big. What's
Yep.
what's your handle on Instagram so people can follow you?
RSM underscore athlete underscore doc. And then the business page is RSM Sports Med.
And it did seriously like I was just clicking on your page one time and like it exploded from the last time I checked it. What do you contribute to that growth of like thousands and thousands of more followers?
I think number one was the consistency. So when I finally was like, all right, I'm just committing to this, I'm doing it every day. I don't care if people think I'm annoying. It's just a personal goal of mine to just post every day. Second to that, make it valuable or make it free.
Dude, I
So
love some of your posts are so funny and yet like educational at the same time.
yeah, I try to blend it
Well,
both.
and that's
Sometimes it's one or the
that's
other.
true. Like you're
Yeah.
not just trying to be like a serious clinician. Like not that your videos are super goofy, but like it's like I see you come out in your videos.
Yeah, a little bit of flavor, a little bit of like, maybe some caffeine and pre-workout
Yeah.
enhancement, but just letting it loose, and then the messaging is the most important. So like it always boils down to either is it an educational tip, like can you do this exercise better, or is it why we're different? Why we can help you, why you would come to choose us versus the guy down the street. Those messages are deliberate and on purpose because if we can't attract a client, then we're never going to be able to help anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really obsessed, honestly, with marketing
It's a lot of
and the
fun.
message. It is so much,
Yeah.
and when you understand like who you're trying to get to, like I don't. accept everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm like looking for a very specific type of person. And when I understood that and I started marketing towards those people, the floodgates
Yeah.
opened.
And when you're not having fun posting and doing your advertising and marketing, like that's when people stop. And like when you post what you want to post and you're having fun, it doesn't really matter if there's anybody looking at it. You know, if it helps one person, that's great. And you can continue to make content because it's what you want to put out.
Exactly. 100% agree. And that's what keeps the fire going.
Of course.
Is that it's like it's always something new. There's always a better post you can make, and I just enjoy it.
Yeah, dude. You know what's funny? I don't know why this keeps coming up, but like I remember the first day I met you. And I don't remember the first day where I met a lot of people. He I everybody was talking like cuz our friends like
Is it alley photos?
what? No,
Alley photos?
I'm pretty sure in my mind it was at in Smitty's neighborhood. Like Mooka and Smitty were like 15 years old. They're like, dude, we just met this kid. He's from California. He's the man. And like me being from like their friend group and like introducing you, like I was kind of nervous. I was like, who the fuck is this kid from California that they think's the man? And and then so I met you, you had like hair down to your shoulders, like flowing. And I think we just played like a hilarious game of wiffle ball, like at 15 in the middle of the street at Smitty's. And like,
I think that
yeah.
was the first time I met Smitty.
No
He like
way.
invited me over.
Yeah. Oh, he did.
He yes,
Yes.
he was young technically.
Yeah, that's right.
We were going into sophomore year, and Muka was in my race, so we were
Right.
yeah. But I didn't know Smitty yet, and then I met you the same day.
That is funny, man. And dude, I've been best friends with you ever since. And
What is that? 18
yeah,
years
and
more?
it's so crazy because I've been best friends with your wife since like the fourth grade, and it's like it's so crazy to see where everybody's at right now,
Wild.
and
And really,
just so
I'm
many
happy that we have
hilarious times, like high school, spring breaks down in Miami Beach, like the funniest things ever. Costa Rica. That was a trip. That surf trip down to Costa Rica was one for the books.
10 out of 10.
Peepas are a joke. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, we're very fortunate to have the surrounding crew. I think also that, you know, in terms of what we do is was super helpful in the beginning at least.
Yeah.
A lot of support from a good friend group.
Yeah.
I think that,
Yeah.
gave me some confidence to, keep pushing forward, and I was able to do this by myself with the support group of a really good friend group. So
Yeah.
I think that's tremendous.
Yeah. It was even though like when you so Jeremy and I also went to the same chiropractic school. I think you were there like maybe year or two later than me. So it would have been cool. It would have been cool to go at the same time, like I did with Fish, because like when you guys got there, you were just in the bookwork and we couldn't hang out
Oh,
too
it
much.
was rough.
But like towards the end, we did a little bit more. But California was that was a. I mean, you're from there.
Unbelievable time.
That was always a dream of mine to live in California, and it was everything that I thought it was going to be. It was like the best day of my life every day, living in Huntington Beach for like 2 years.
Yeah, that was, I mean, besides the school part,
Yeah.
which because we're busy and we're in the library a lot, but yeah, it's a really awesome spot, and that's why I chose that for grad school.
Yeah.
Right, is like I'm going back to school. It better be somewhere nice, and then thankfully I knew the area from growing up there, so it was kind of like a perfect spot for
I
me.
remember the first day I moved to Huntington Beach, like moved in, grabbed my skateboard and went right to the beach at like sunset time. And it was just this booming orange, purple, like colors I've never seen before. And it's like, I would do that like every day because it was just like, you don't see nature like that on the East Coast. It's just like, kind of like, as dumb as it sounds, it takes your breath away and it just makes you stop and just like look and appreciate what's going on.
It's unbelievable. Newport was, I was spoiled growing up, but I remember those vividly. And then when I went back, I remember it was like September, and it was as hot as Texas, they said, but sun beaming actually from even Whittier was like the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Was it a culture shock from you moving? How old were you when you moved to the East Coast?
12.
12. I feel like it's very easy for somebody from the East Coast to move to the West Coast, but like moving at the tender age of 12, what was that like? Was that like, were you nervous? Were you like, was it awesome? Did you hate it?
I always tell people that it made it a lot easier that my cousins were here.
Oh, yeah. And you have the most hilarious cousins.
Yeah, that definitely helped. Everybody was super welcoming, and then being good at sports definitely helped. Because we were put right into the Pop Warner practices, and everybody was cool because we were not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my brother and I, thankfully, it was an easier transition than most would have had because of the cousins, the family, and then playing sports our whole lives. Like we kind of fit in with the culture, so that was easy.
And
Even though we were a suitcase,
yeah. And
that was
12-year-olds from New Jersey are New Jersey, New York are just like hysterical. Why? And I'm pretty sure that was the first time you ever experienced that, right?
that was. And I met your younger cousin.
Oh my God, Timmy.
I was like, wow, these guys are wonks.
Oh my
That
God.
was so funny. That's what I thought you meant was the first time because he was heckling.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was something else.
Such a good time, though.
So Jeremy, what piece of advice would you give people that are either starting a new business or starting a new practice and they're unsure if they want to do it? What would you say to them?
I would say go with your gut. It's ruthless advice, but I think that if you think you can do it, I know you can, and you know you can.
Yeah.
If you're having second thoughts, I would still say, you know, think it over. But if you're committed to something, there's no reason you fail unless you quit, because you either get better and you learn the skills to do it, or you quit.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think me and you both chose the first option. We did always do the best, but I think that anything's possible. People have done it before you. You just need some focus, a little bit of confidence. You got to be bold,
Yeah.
and you'll have that self belief.
Yeah.
Because without that, you'll just
Don't listen to that outside noise either, because you got enough, like, be confident in yourself, but there's also doubt that's creeping in. If you start listening to that outside noise,
all the time.
it's
That's
crazy.
skill to
Yeah.
kind of block the noise out. Especially with me, like everybody in the beginning was like, "You're not taking insurance. Like,
Yeah.
you're oral. You're crazy.
Yeah.
You're like, who's gonna do that?"
Yeah.
And there's a lot of just, "Yep, I know. I'm so silly. I'm a silly goose." But it's just like block out the negative comments. Like I had a very specific idea as to what I wanted to do, and I wasn't gonna let anybody.
Yeah, definitely believe in yourself first and foremost. I remember Billy Noble came down to St. Augustine because his parents live here. And we were just like talking, we're having a couple beers. He's like, "So you moved down here?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you know anybody?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You opened up a location and you don't have any patients and you didn't know anybody." And like while he was talking, I was like, "Yeah, that sounds like fucking crazy. Like to open up in a random place and not know anybody, not have any patients." And it's just like that never even crossed my mind until he said it.
That is very impressive.
Right.
But very strong community online.
Yeah.
That helped for sure. Had proof in the pudding.
Yeah.
You were practicing for years. Yeah. That was the self belief and confidence that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
That's a very powerful thing. And when you have that's same thing moving to Red Bank, rain. It's not as far as that.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, "Are you worried about losing patients?" I said, "No.
Yeah.
We have a great reputation. I think everybody came over here. Like no one really left because we moved. And now we have more people that are local that are overfilling the schedule.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And in a sense, that might even be tougher too, because New Jersey's so dense where like you go two towns over. Like I had people in my New Jersey office like that were like 25 minutes away. They're like, "Do you have anybody closer? Like I can't drive 25 minutes." And then it's like, okay. But when they realized the value and there was nobody else doing it, and like, so I mean, half hour from where your old place was to now, like that is a big move. Like it's not little.
but just like you said before, I was like,
Yeah.
wasn't even thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're gonna have a great facility. Everybody's gonna love it, and we'll be fun.
Love it, dude. So, Jeremy, where can people find you on social media? And if they wanted to book an appointment with you, where can they do that?
So through social, there's always a sheet you can opt into, just a little bit about the injury, a little bit about your history, pain levels, and then
Where do they find that sheet?
oh, right on my bio. So RSM athlete doc. Click the bio, and then you could also visit the website rsmsportsmed.com. Similar sheet will pop up, and then we'll get that, and then we schedule a free phone call where we get more information, free discovery visit, and then the eval, and then the plan of care.
Awesome. And what is your website in case people are just going right to that?
www.rsmsportsmed.com.
Love it. All right, Jeremy. Loved having you on, dude. I truly miss you. Like I just enjoy just conversation. Like I don't feel you anymore. I know we talk in the group chat and everything, but I fucking miss you guys.
We'll be coming down
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's just like you said, it's a crazy year with the build out and 2 build outs back to back, baby. But we'll be down ASAP.
Yeah, man. I hear you. All right, brother. I love you, and I would love to have you back on anytime.
Thanks for having me, man.
Of course.